The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
All right, let's get into it. And Lauren here for Kenzie today. As you haven't heard yet still about what's going on with Kenzie at the hospital, but we do know she is there. So the minute the baby's born, we will pass that information on. A lot of people texting in about that. We're lucky to have Lauren come in way early.
Super early.
And Dougie Styles is going to do her show so she can go to bed later on. Nothing better than a day nap, by the way, Lauren. I don't know how many you take of those, but the day nap.
It's been a hot minute. I'm looking forward to it. Why did you just turn my mic up?
Want to make sure I can hear you.
Okay.
All right, so here's what's going on overnight. The White Sox hypothetical new stadium in this, I used to call it a fake neighborhood, but now I'm believing, the 78. It's just outside of Chicago's South Loop, has been released, and its renderings are called Project Impact. The stadium to benefit the city of Chicago. And we've been talking about this for, now it seems like months. We broke the news about the White Sox wanting to move the stadium 2 miles north and get out of Bridgeport and head up north and build this kind of neighborhood around the stadium. And I'm against it. I'm a Cubs fan. Lauren, Cubs fan.
Cubs fan.
Case, Sox fan. Case very against it because of fried pickles at Guaranteed Rate Field.
Not just fried pickles. I was talking to somebody. We have these renders up on Q101's Facebook page if you haven't seen them. And I think we're both in agreement, Sox fan to Sox fan, maybe they shouldn't be allowed to build until the team is 500.
That's how I would feel if I was a Sox fan.
I don't even need a division title. I don't need a pennant. I don't need a World Series win. Just 500.
Do you know that there's pre-bets for the season going on right now?
I saw this, yeah.
The White Sox betting they have a 0% chance to make the playoffs.
Wow.
Now, they haven't played a game yet.
No,
you
but
can't do that.
I don't know. I don't know if it was ESPN or who it was, but they have all these mathematical calculations of who can win the division and the American League and the World Series, and the Guardians are the favorite of the AL Central at 80% or whatever. White Sox 0% across the board.
I guarantee you that came from Jerry Reinsdorf because I feel like he lives to just mess with White Sox fans now. All his crazy ideas, everything he wants to do is nothing of benefit to you guys.
Well, he wants to build a $1 billion stadium, and I'm in on it now as a Cubs fan.
Is it real, though? It's an AI-generated image. Sure, it looks great.
Well,
is it real?
If we're all in the Matrix, it's a beautiful stadium. I'm not taking the pill that gets me out because this stadium looks incredible if it's real. And actually, home plate facing up goes northwest right to the Sears Tower, which well, I almost called it the Cell, U.S. Cellular Field, Guaranteed Rate, Comiskey, whatever. It should have faced that way. Instead it faced southeast. I don't know why. Not much of a view that direction for the greatest skyline in the country. But this stadium, the renderings are up at our Facebook page, Q101's Facebook page, Q101.com. It does look incredible. And as a Cubs fan, I'm now all in on the White Sox building that new stadium right there. I love it now. I've totally changed overnight. Case still hasn't. And Lauren, your thoughts?
I mean, I'll go to a game there, but I don't want to pay for this. I'm already paying for everything else, and they're not filling potholes with my tax money.
Well, that's facts right there from Lauren.
Every time somebody talks about a $3 billion new place for the Bears in the city, or now this, it's like, how much? What's it gonna cost me?
Well, that's what we were talking about. That's what we were talking about a few days ago because the Bears are probably on the move, and it's looking less and less like Arlington Heights is the solution, and more maybe a new stadium downtown. You have this White Sox news, and then I brought up to Brian. I go, well, the United Center's 30 years old now. I'm sure the Bulls and Blackhawks probably are going, well, wait a minute, Milwaukee, the Pfizer Forum in Milwaukee, that thing is state of the art. Why don't we have that?
I'll tell you what, though. To me, the United Center still feels state of the art.
I love it.
I can't believe it's that old. Because
I wouldn't change a thing with the United Center. I don't hate Soldier Field as much as everybody else, and I obviously love Guaranteed Rate.
Yeah.
But it's coming. It's going to come in a big wave, and our city's going to be one giant construction cone.
I'll tell you, I'm with Lauren on the paying. Let the billionaires pay for it. They're still paying for the renovation of Soldier Field. We're still paying for even, I believe, Guaranteed Rate. That's a hotel tax. And then I'm not sure I can't remember what the tax is for Soldier Field, what it is, but you're paying it. We're all paying it.
They sneak it all in there.
The state's paying it because it's a park district. The Bears do not own that stadium. That's why they want to build one. They want to own it. I don't know if they build a new one, they actually own it. I guess they would if it was in the south parking lot, which, by the way, would pour one out for the south parking lot if that happens. That's the best tailgate lot in the business.
Many a good times had there.
Oh, how are they going to do that? It's terrible. So we'll follow that as it goes along. But go look at the pictures, and you guys judge, you White Sox fans, do you want this? It looks cool. Tonight, as it did in TV time, the Hall of Fame honors on CBS at 8. So we'll find out pretty much for sure. You're hearing it here first that Devin Hester, Julius Peppers, and Mongo are going to get in the NFL Hall of Fame. They'll announce it tonight. They'll get the phone calls today. We'll never see a player like Devin Hester again. Never, 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 never. I don't want to relive that Super Bowl again, so we're going to move on. Okay? Bears season ticket holders, how about that? 8% increase. That's what's going to pay for the stadium there, Lauren.
Yeah, problem solved.
I don't know.
I don't know how you can increase after a 7 and 10. I don't.
Yeah.
You barely won any games. Give one free game. If you're listening to me up there in Lake Forest, the McCaskey family, just give everybody one free game and you'll have them for life. They'll remember that game that the Bears lost 28-3 against the Broncos or something. But you give somebody a free game, they'll remember that forever, and they'll be loyal to you forever.
I just wish I was the person that got to type up the email alerting season ticket holders that there was going to be an 8% increase, because I can just see myself cracking my knuckles sitting down at my desk going, "Dear valued customer, despite a treacherous season, we made great strides as an organization.
Yeah.
Therefore, despite the fact that we don't know who's going to play quarterback next year, we will be increasing our season tickets by 8%. Thank you, valued customer. Love, Bears."
The Bears. Speaking of which, our great house band, the Double Features, did a Q101 shuffle, i.e. after the Super Bowl shuffle, and here it is.
We are Chicago's radio crew, on the air, just for you. Play it loud, but you can't muffle when we sing the Q101 shuffle.
Tuning in to the morning show, afternoons or on the drive back home. Alternative all day long.
When you're on 101.1, we are Chicago's radio crew, on the air, just for you. Play it loud, but you can't muffle when we sing the Q101 shuffle.
Check out the video, by the way, also at Q101's Facebook page.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and this will be a fun thing to indoctrinate Lauren into our journey of Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
Oh, I've been following this journey.
This has been a great gift that our new friend, Ben Bradley, WGN-TV's investigative reporter, what a savage he is. This guy gets doors slammed in his face better than anybody, and he keeps going. He's the Terminator. And he keeps finding stories. And another story breaks on the investigation of her fighting back about a lot of the allegations of corruption down there, money spent on trips to, well, Florida, to Times Square, to Arizona, steak dinners.
Well, if you remember when we talked to Ben Bradley last week, and that interview and that whole conversation is on Brian and Kenzie's podcast, but his whole point was, she won't talk to me. She knows who I am now, and she's not answering anybody's questions. And then earlier this week, she finally spoke to the city, and she's fired back in a real way.
WGN Investigates has an update on dysfunction in Dolton, where local leaders are fighting over transparency, spending, and safety. Now the South Suburbs' controversial mayor is firing back, and it all played out at a public meeting last night.
Y'all forget I am the leader. They want to hear from the mayor. If y'all ain't learned that yet. The mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing. That only
Those are the trustees she's talking about that have been defending her. They're defending her of saying no comment whenever a question's asked.
Because she's down to basically one opposition within her board, but
Right.
it's basically been a coup. She's gotten her entire squad on the board of trustees.
It's a coup, right? Not a coop.
Well, there's a whole coop of them. They're like chickens. I don't know what you're talking about. I ever seen chickens run around? That's what they look like.
The story continues from WGN.
run their mouth. Y'all don't do no work.
Tiffany Henyard considers herself something of a crusader, but one who's clearly annoyed by questions from a rebellious group of Dolton trustees who are in a standoff with her over spending.
At the end of the day, vendors are not being paid. Board approved it. The vendors are not being paid.
How about you be a good leader, bring RFPs to the forefront, so not just us, but the residents and everybody else in America know how the money is being spent.
WGN Investigates has cataloged tens of thousands of taxpayer dollars spent on trips, meals, and more by Tiffany Henyard and her allies in Dolton and on the Thornton Township Board, where she's the supervisor. Township credit card records show Henyard and other officials spent more than $67,000 on trips to Portland, Austin, Atlanta, and New York City.
Portland?
Why'd they go to Portland?
Why'd they go to Portland?
I like it weird.
Yeah, Dane Lillard's not even there anymore. Why'd they go to Portland?
I don't think they went for a basketball game.
What else are you going to do? You're going to not see a Blazers game?
Don't they have topless coffee shops in Portland?
No, I think that's Switzerland.
Dougie Styles is filling in for Lauren later. He's nodding his head
He's
yes.
shaking his head. He's like,
If
yeah.
anyone's going to trust anybody's knowledge of that situation.
I'm sure he's part of Tiffany Henyard's crew who went to Portland for a topless coffee shop.
Call him Star Boobs.
Keeps going here, the story.
The flights were first class. So were the
First class flights. You ever fly in first class, Lauren?
Not on purpose.
I mean, have you ever gotten in a first class seat, really?
Yes, I've accidentally been upgraded. I've never paid for it because that's ridiculous. I could light $100 on fire.
How do you get accidentally upgraded?
When they have an extra seat and then you look worthy, I guess. I don't know. They pick you out of the crowd and they're like, hey,
You were
girl.
racially profiled for first class?
Hey, girl. Hey, girl.
We can see you need this.
Yeah.
It was a pity pick.
We haven't filled our pink hair quotient. So let's get Lauren in there. All right, here we go.
accommodations. In Atlanta, Henyard and her team stayed at the Four Seasons Hotel, costing taxpayers more than $9,000.
Oh, hell no.
The Courtyard Marriott's wonderful. You get a free breakfast in the morning. The Hampton Inn. I love the Hampton Inn. They're free breakfast, too. The Four Seasons? The average person in Dolton makes $29,000 a year. With her mayor and trustee position, she makes almost $300,000.
And
Well, it'll trickle down that way.
I don't think it
makes
is.
sense.
It trickles down to the trustees and those dinners. God, I want a steak dinner right now.
It sounds so good, doesn't
So
it?
bad.
easily distracted.
I got to get down there and get on the trustee board there. Okay, here she goes. He continues on.
In New York, the bill came to $13,000. Henyard has refused to explain the specific purpose of the trips or why they travel in such style, but she appeared to refer to our reporting at Monday's Dolton meeting.
But everything we do for the people. But we under attack. We getting scrutinized in the media. For what? Loving on the people? Showing them that they matter to us?
Is she sharing the love?
Oh.
with the people?
She's loving on the people.
Well, the squad she has, they all get the love. They get the rooms in Times Square.
Not
They get the
anymore.
Four Seasons. They get the steaks. They get all that stuff. We got to get Ben Bradley on again now.
I know. He's probably sick of hearing from me, but
I
this
know.
saga just won't end.
And all those old interviews with Ben Bradley are on our Brian and Kenzie podcast. Just one earlier this week, or was it last week?
Last week, yeah.
Last week
Back
we
when
had him
time
on.
runs together, yeah.
And he said, I want to come on the show and do something else, he said. I don't, but
Stop talking about this woman.
so much press for it and nothing's happening, and it's unreal, but we'll keep you updated on it.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and we thank Lauren for coming in. She'll be back tomorrow, right?
Probably.
What's that mean?
I'm just kidding. I'll be here.
What?
We don't
I'll
even have you
be
coming
here.
at 6. You just have to be here at
I
7.
know. It's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Now, if you want to come in at 6 tomorrow, I'll get that first fresh start. You can do that.
Ooh, I think I'm booked.
Lauren, I gotta be honest, I
check
don't
my
need that
calendar.
from you. You can stay home and get that hour of sleep.
All right, so Lauren will be in here tomorrow. As, of course, Kenzie, we have not gotten word yet about the baby, if it's arrived yet. She's in the hospital, preparing for everything, the maternity situation. So we will
My
get to
God.
that.
We know it's a boy. You can say him.
It's a boy.
You don't have to say it.
It's a boy. It took me a long time for me to stop saying my own child, Harper. I don't know why I say it. I don't know. It's just, I'm uncomfortable. I don't know why.
Yeah, I can tell.
I don't know why. So now Lauren filled in for Kenzie, and Dougie Styles is here to fill in for Lauren.
See, everybody was having a good time this morning until you just said that. Now everybody's like, oh,
Oh,
they're
what are
all
you
just
talking about?
yeah, man.
Dude,
Everybody
you're
loves
money and you
Dougie.
don't even know it.
Oh, keep going.
So
keep going. Let me
money.
get him. Let me
You're
get him.
so money.
Let me fish for all these compliments really quick. Go ahead. Give it to me, guys.
That's all I'm giving you. That's the one. That's the
That's
one.
it.
What do you got coming up? 11 a.m. The Foo Fighters. It's Green Day, San Francisco.
Yeah, I was listening to you guys this morning, and I agree with you, Brian. I think San Francisco is phenomenal. Alcatraz, one of the coolest things I've ever done in my life. Not been like there, but just like as taking
In due time, you
Yeah.
visited.
But very gloomy.
Yeah.
But if you see Green Day there, I think it would change everything. Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah,
really
the
quick.
trip will be incredible. I'm just not going to move there.
Yeah.
What is making you move there?
Very expensive.
Well, somebody asked me, I think about what do you think of the city? And I just said, But for a trip, I'll go anywhere for a trip. And a free concert with Green
sound like it.
And Green Day in their hometown will be insane.
Absolutely.
So that's at 11 a.m. plus a $100 Visa gift card just for qualifying. Takeaways from today's show, 312-591-8300. Case, what do you got?
Our friend Eric from Indiana checked in. He said, takeaway, Lauren always pulls a wet January to buck the trend.
Hell yeah, baby.
No dry January crap.
no. Not
I'll
a
never do
quitter.
that. I'll never do that again.
Winners never quit.
Winners never quit and quitters never win?
No.
Is that what it is? I don't know. I was just trying
It's
to
okay,
figure
don't hurt yourself.
All right, Lauren, take away. What do you got?
From the 219. I can't even. Brian lives his life a quarter pounder at a time.
Nice.
Well, do it like Vin Diesel, though.
I can't do anything like Vin Diesel.
Oh, come on.
You do it, Case.
I forgot the words. What was it?
Brian
Forget it.
I guess we're not all family anymore.
No, I guess not.
In my head, I went to have it your way. I went, that's not what they just said.
I'll try. Brian lives his life a quarter pounder at a time. LMAO.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Not bad, Lauren.
Wasn't bad.
Finally, also from Indiana 219, Mike checked in. You'll never find Case in the lemon section.
I never go there.
But maybe Lauren, because he's always chomping on something.
Oh, Lauren, that's just, she won't stop.
Oh, I gotta eat.
Oh, my God. You
baby.
miss a moment, miss a lot. So Lauren will be back tomorrow again for Kenzie. And you miss a moment, go to the Brian and Kenzie podcast. Case, what's on there?
Yes, we started off the day by influencing negatively an entire generation. Brian and I sort of weighed the pros and cons of smoking. Turns out might be more pros.
That was before I got here to clarify.
But while Lauren was here, we talked to a man who met his wife by playing the trombone. If you want to meet a woman, start playing the trombone.
Wow.
Let me write these notes down. Hold on. I'm single
There
here.
you
Trombone,
go.
got it.
Yep.
If you want to sound cool, call it the bone.
The bone. And then finally,
Hey, baby, I play the bone.
Lauren explained what Wet January was in the 8 a.m. hour. So we've got that up there as well, all on the Brian and Kenzie podcast.
Sexual show this morning, guys.
Moist.
Good job.
No different than any other day.
But they
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.